Real 2K recap for the games of November 9th, 2025. A lot to break down today. It is the start of my weekend, so I got a little bit of cleanup done. We're going to start off with the Houston Rockets, who moved 6-3 on the season with a 122 to 115 win over the Milwaukee Bucks. Alperen Şengün, 23 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. Kevin Durant, 31 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, season high 7 assists for KD. And worth noting, only his third 30-point game of the season. Reed Sheppard was also solid in this one. He struggled in his first two games. Before we get into that, 16 points for him, 4 of 6 from 3, 4 steals. Overall, really good line. But he struggled in like his first two games of the year, which were losses against the top two teams in the NBA, as it happens. He has been much better since those games. Came in to this one with a 59 true shooting percentage on the year, which is plus 12 points better from last year, only 47% true shooting as a rookie. He's shooting 45% on threes, again 34% last year. He's doing that on good volume and creation, 9 threes per 36 minutes, and 73% assist rate. So I gave him a +3 to his overall rating in this one. 24% assist rate. So I gave him which is 9% better than last year also. So I gave him +7 to his close shot, +3 to his three ball, +6 to his pass vision rating, +10 to his shot IQ, and then +30 to his offensive consistency. He was not at all consistent as a rookie, and he's actually come around in his sophomore season. So good stuff from Reed Sheppard. He's a big part of why the Rockets are playing a lot better since their slow start. This loss, or not this loss, but they in the last game they lost, and that ended their 5-game winning streak. So they continue their winning ways against a quality opponent in Milwaukee. And then KD, he's actually struggling a little bit. So I did drop his rating. Struggling. He's just old, man. 17.1 player efficiency rating, which is his lowest since his rookie season. 60 true shooting percentage, which is absurdly the fourth lowest shooting percentage of his career. At 60 true shooting, like for a lot of players, that's like the mark that they aim for, or it's like their high. And he's doing this on only 27% usage, which again, 60 true shooting on 27% usage, that's really good. But that usage rate is also the lowest of his career. So KD's gone from being a god amongst men to just another really good, demigod. So he's only shooting 47% from the field this year, 38% from three. Last year, he was at 53% from the field, 43% from three. So he's about 5% worse from all areas. So where he has made up for this is getting to the line at a higher rate. He is taking 8 free throw attempts per game, which is the highest mark since his OKC days. So, and he hasn't played in OKC in a while. He played for Golden State, Brooklyn, and then Phoenix. So 4 teams later, he's now at the age of 37, getting to the line at a high clip again. His rebound rate is also the lowest it's been since he was a rookie. He played shooting guard notably when he was with the Sonics way back when. Obviously, the Rockets, they do run a lot of double big stuff. They're not looking for rebounds out of KD, but again, he's an older player, playing a little lower in the lineup than he typically has. Only a 13% defensive rebound rating, which typically would be around like a 59, 60-ish rating. And then 11% assist rate is that's also factoring before this game where he had the season high in assists, so that'll go up a little bit. But 11 assist percentage, that is a career low. Essentially, it's basically in line with his rookie season, which is around like 12%. And he has a 0.9 assist to turnover ratio, 21 assists on the year versus 24 turnovers. So he's really not playmaking at all, really just being used as like a gunner. Um, so I dropped him to 91 overall, -2. I did give a +10 to that draw foul rating, but then -5 to his close mid, -2 to his three ball, -5 to his shot IQ, -14 to an 85. Or actually, nope, sorry, -19 to an 80 offensive consistency. As he's just is not, he's not as uh, the last basically his whole career he's been inevitable, and there have been a few poor shooting games for KD in this early going. We dropped his defensive rebound rating, which I touched on, by 3 points, and then his pass ratings, I basically dropped all of them by 5 points. So 91 overall for KD. I do anticipate that Şengün will have a higher rating than him in the near future, similar to like the relationship between Maxey and Joel Embiid, the new guard, just overtaking the old guard. Let's go over to the Milwaukee Bucks, who they dropped to 6-4 with this defeat. Not a ton of notes for them in this game. Giannis had 37 points, but only 8 rebounds and 3 assists. Worth noting that, Houston, a very good rebounding team, good defensive team also, only 3 assists, so they basically shut down the rest of the team. And just, Giannis got his 37, but the rest of the team really struggled. Ryan Rollins had 19 points, 5 assists. He's been consistently like Milwaukee's number 2 player. That's more or less because Miles Turner's kind of disappointed offensively. He only had I think 12 or 13 points in this game, which is better than what he's done at the start of the year, but still not quite enough. They definitely needed a little bit of scoring punch with KPG out of the rotation with dealing with his injury. Not a ton of shot creators on the team, so when teams are able to slow down Giannis just a little bit, it's hard for these guys to really get going. Let's go over to the Knicks. They really got going against the Brooklyn Nets, stomping them by 36 points, 134 to 98. New York moves up to 6-3. Not a ton of notes for them. Pretty balanced effort overall. Cat had 28 and 12. Brunson and OG with 19 each. Bridges with 16. Hart and Clarkson with 11 each. Mitchell Robinson, maybe the biggest, not biggest, but most important line out of everybody. He was super efficient in his limited minutes. He had 8 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks in 17 minutes, shooting 4 for 4 from the field. You're not going to get a ton better than that from Mitchell Robinson while he's on this limits restriction, not playing back-to-backs, etc. Obviously, the Nets are not the greatest opponent. They dropped to 1-9 on the season. MPJ, 25 points for him. He's consistently been the Nets' best player this year. Nick Claxton, 12 points, 5 assists. Again, the team leader in assists, they really don't have much in the way of point guard play. Terrence Mann had another dud, but with 0 points in 18 minutes on over 2 shooting. I'm not sure what that was about, but he's been pretty good aside from this. I don't want to overreact too much to it. I did get my rating in for him as he jumps to a 78. Was able to boost his defense, athleticism, etc. to the levels it should be at. And Yegor Dialman, he had a season high, 10 points, 3 assists, 4 of 6 from the field in 26 minutes. Okay, step in the right direction, I guess. I joked to my coworkers while the game was going on that the good thing about the Nets is that they don't even need to change their lineup when it gets to garbage time. Drake Powell, 15 points, 5 of 8 from the field, and his, extended garbage time, his best line of his young career so far. The rest of the rookies are all in the G League. That's why I have an injury designation on them. Not great for a team that used 5 first-round picks on for the setting the NBA record. Going over a couple changes I made for the Nets. Cam Thomas, he's out for a little while, 3 to 4 weeks with a hamstring strain, but I did drop his rating. I felt it was appropriate. Just anytime a player gets hurt, we're able to check in on their stats and see what they were doing up to that point. Obviously, only 8 games for Cam Thomas under his belt. Only played 25 last year, so even that wasn't a large sample. So I ended up using a 3-year split on him, looking at his last 3 seasons. or his last two plus this one, which gives us essentially it gave us a 3,000 or 3,100 minute sample essentially. His production this season is more similar to his 2024 production than it is his 2025, where he was. I don't want to go too nuts looking through. 2K is a little, it's not. We don't look at it. We don't use this for the stats, but yeah. Yeah, there's nothing really that I can glean from this. But anyway, for this season, shooting 8 of 20 on layups, which is 40%. 26 of 56 from close range, 46%. That's still respectable. 5 of 18 from mid range, only 28%. Obviously, small sample. I don't go crazy over mid range stats. And then 16 for 45 from 3, which is 36%. He does create a lot of shots off the dribble though, which is why he has higher ratings than his percentages would necessarily reflect. But just based on like that 3-year split of him not being as good as he was last year, I did drop his mid-range rating 2 points, 3 ball a point. He's not passing the ball. He had a higher assist rate last year, so I did drop his vision by 6 points. His offensive consistency, I dropped from a 95 to an 80. Shot IQ, I dropped 5 points. So all of that, I was able to knock him down to an 84, -2 from where I had it. I think it's appropriate for. He shouldn't have a higher rating than Michael Porter Jr. I expect that when I do MPJ's rating, he'll probably jump to like an 85. I did also get my rating in for Demon or Diomon. I don't know how to exactly to pronounce his name, but I will, and he's sucked this year so far as a rookie. So no change to his overall rating. Interestingly enough, like the vast majority of his shots have been threes, and that was actually something that he like kind of struggled with in college. Like I think 75% of his shots are from 3-point range. Obviously not shooting them at like a super great clip, but with only the 77 rating. But I'm not sure what his tendency is. Let's check that out. Only 37. Yeah, that could go up quite a bit. So that's something that I'll clean up a little later. But yeah, I have essentially the top 3 guards on the team. I got ratings in for them. I'm going to try to get a rating in for Tyrese Martin, and then at least all of the starting front court players in for the Nets over the weekend. Some of the ratings on this team are just pretty brutal. Looking at that 63 layup rating for Tyrese Martin. And then Noah Clowney's only a 73 overall. He's been starting for the team the last couple games. Even Nick Claxton, 67 layup is probably a little too low, and we need to get his pass ratings up. Only 35 offensive consistency. Oh my God. Yeah, some of the ratings are just pretty bad for again, a lot of those mid-tier guys. Claxton's on like that the outside of like that top 100. 2K not really paying a ton of attention to most of the guys in the Nets, so we're going to have to give them a little extra love to compensate for what they are not doing. Let's go on over to the Boston Celtics. They go to 5-6 on the season, beating the Magic 111-107. Jaylen Brown, 27 points in this one. Derek White, 21 points. He's been playing better. I'm still holding out on dropping him. Again, I don't really overreact to like poor shooting numbers in the early going. I do think that these level out the more of a sample that players get, so he's still holding on at like an 88. Maybe 2K dropped him down to like an 83, 84. I'd probably just have him at like an 86 when I get around to it. Anthony Simons tied a season high with 25 points. Peyton Pritchard only 5 points in this one, but they got just enough scoring in order to take down the Magic. Obviously, it doesn't take much scoring to take down the Magic because they are a terrible offensive team. Luka Garza, 16 points, 7 of 8 from the field in 17 minutes. Valuable contribution for them to just push them over the hump against the Magic, who dropped to 4-6. Paolo Banchero, very mixed bag for him, 28 points, 10 of 16 from the field, but over 5 from 3. So he's 10 of 11 on 2s, over 5 on 3s. And then 10 of 10 from the free throw line. He did have 6 turnovers, though, so he was completely dominant on the inside. And then why did he take 5 threes? I don't know. Franz Wagner, 20 points. He was 1 for 4 on 3s himself. Jalen Suggs had 20 points, season high, and then also season high 29 points. So hopefully he's able to come off of this minutes restriction. They desperately need his shooting ability. Tyus Jones kind of shitting the bed right now. Um, Offensively, not really getting much out of their second unit. Desmond Bain, we got to talk about him. He's a guy who, at the current rate, we kind of do have to drop him. It's not even necessarily his fault. I think it's just Jamal Mosley's fault. Like, the offense in this team sucks. Well, not even necessarily Jamal Mosley's fault. Like, really the roster construction. Orlando was 7 of 30 on threes in this game. Desmond Bain had 9 points, right? He was 4 of 9 from the field, whatever. 6 assists. So maybe he's like running the offense on that first unit to create more like scoring opportunities for Jalen Suggs. Sure, whatever. 9 points, 6 assists, played 35 minutes. He was 0 for 1 from 3-point range in 35 minutes. Like, what are we doing? Orlando's 7 of 30, and he took 1 of those threes. Banchero was 0 for 5. Why in the fuck is he taking 5 times as many threes as Desmond Bain? That's a problem with Banchero's just got to have better shot selection, and the coach has got to like get to these guys and like they've got to get Desmond Bain more involved somehow. I mean, unless you're telling me that like Derek White is just that damn good defensively that he completely locked down Desmond Bain. I didn't get a chance to watch any of these games just going off the box scores. Maybe that's the case. I don't necessarily know. Who knows if Derek White was even guarding him? He might have even been guarding Jalen Suggs for all we know. Yeah, I don't know what to make of the Magic this year. I was really high on the Desmond Bain acquisition, but they just haven't been able to like incorporate him at all, and that's essentially the main reason why they're 4-6. They were supposed to move forward this year, but instead they are more or less just treading water. Good thing they traded 4 first-round picks in order to just tread water, right? Let's go over to the OKC Thunder, who they're not treading water. They move up to an NBA best 9-1 on the year, beating the Memphis Grizzlies 114-100. Still without half the starters, but it doesn't matter. Shea 35 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, whatever. Chet 21 points. He's been better offensively this year. AJ Mitchell 21 points for him. Isaiah Hartenstein 18 points, 13 rebounds. Those 4 combined for 35 for 62 from the field, shooting 56%. Everyone else on the team shot 6 of 33, 18%. So they were just those 4 guys were pretty much enough to take down the Grizzlies. Before we get to them, let's just go over AJ Mitchell. I did get him to an 80 overall in this update. He's averaging 17 points in 28 minutes, 3rd on OKC. So I gave him a +4 to his overall rating. Just touching on some of his ratings. He's 35 for 57 on layups this year, 61% from the field, creating a lot of those off the dribble, 37% assisted, and he's taking 7.5 of layups per 36 minutes, which is a pretty high volume. His assist rate is up to 22%. That's plus 9% from where it was last year. So last year he was more or less like kind of a combo guard, and this year he's closer to like being like an actual like initiator, doing a lot more with the ball in his hands, which is also exemplified by I did boost his ball rating a little bit. 7.5 pick and roll possessions per 36 minutes for him, which I believe is double from what it was last season. So 90 layup plus 5. His draw foul rating is up as he's been driving more. So I boosted this by 10. Since he's driving more, he's getting to the line more. And he's shooting really well from the line. Currently like 95% from the line. So I boosted him to an 89 plus 6, which is basically his career rate at the moment. Plus 5 to that handle. As mentioned, he is doing a lot more off the dribble, driving a lot more. Plus 7 to that pass vision. Plus 5 to the rest of his pass ratings. A plus 25 to his offensive consistency. So again, last year only 45. Kind of like a 3-and-D-ish combo guard. Now he's like an actual like scorer on this team. So that'll probably continue to go up as if he keeps up his role once other guys come back. Basically, if his scoring is going to go down once like Jalen Williams comes back. But in the meantime, he's a big reason why they haven't missed Jalen Williams at all. And then I also boosted his steal ratings, his steal rate and pass perception by like 4 and 5 points, just because that rate has been up. So 2K in their update, in their roster update, if I recall, they boosted him to a 79 overall. And they gave him +4 badges. They took him from 5 badges to 9. I took that a step further. Um, Basically, all their changes are in line with what I would have done. But I dove in and I went a step further than what they did. So I've got him up to 14 badges, +5 from where they've got him. Float game, layup mixmaster, both of those are +1s for me. That's essentially what they gave him. They gave him physical finisher bronze. I already had that on him dating back to last year. He already had set shot specialist. I added shifty shooter, as he's been taking like 2.5 pull-ups and step backs per game. They added the silver versatile visionary to him. I took it a step further and gave him dimer as well. They gave him lightning launch and strong handle, which again he's creating a lot more off the dribble, so I was totally cool with that. And then based on his steal rate, I just also gave him glove and interceptor as defensive badges. I also already have pick dodger on him dating back to last year, so all those changes essentially brought him from a 79 to an 80 overall. With the badge changes, I mean. And then let's head on over to the Memphis Grizzlies. We're going to discuss another point guard for them. They dropped to 4 and 6 on the year. Ja Morant, 11 points, 3 for 18 shooting. I spit out my drink when I saw that line. Recall 3 for 18 from the field. Recall that OKC's rest of team was 6 of 33. So Ja Morant essentially was just as bad as OKC's, like all of their role players who shit the bed. And Ja Morant, like the reason why his shooting numbers from the field are so poor is he's taking a staggering number of off the dribble jumpers for a player who can't shoot. He's taking 9.1 pull-ups and step backs per 36 minutes. That's how many Cam Thomas took last year. Where Cam Thomas's entire game is like he is a off the dribble scorer. That's like the worst part of Ja Morant's game. Like, why is he taking 54 threes this year when he's shooting like 18%? To me, he's actively tanking their season. This has to be intentional. We saw this from Vince Carter many years ago, probably 20 years ago at this point, when he was trying to angle for a trade out of Toronto, ending up with the back then New Jersey Nets. This is kind of straight out of that playbook. Like he's driving less and just taking terrible shots. So I mean, his shot selection is obviously either like worse than the NBA, or more likely he's just doing this on purpose. I don't even know if it's like, are they doing something on defense that like he's not able to, he's lost a step offensively, that he's just like settling for jumpers. I kind of doubt it. I think he's just shooting whenever he fucking feels like it. 69 3-point rating and just -2. Again, this is going to trickle down throughout the year of, given that he's shooting so poorly. I did drop his offensive consistency even further down to like a 60 minus. Well, actually, I lied. It's still a 65. We're gonna drop that down another 5. So I think that's a -10 for me. And then his intangibles, I actually dropped this down to 10 points from a 90. I consider all-star players to be a 90. Based on how Ja's playing right now, he is not an all-star player. Not even close. There's no way that he would sniff. Nobody's considering him for all-star based on the way that he's playing this year. And I did also one minor change to his badges. Like some of them, his pass ratings are still really good. So most of his badges, his gold badges, are like passing and playmaking related. It's just like the shooting stuff is what's really dragging him down. Posterizer. 2K's got Hall of Fame posterizer on him. He hasn't been at that since like 2002. Some of these might trickle down a little bit. I did remove, or not remove, but I reduced his physical finisher down to a silver. I added it gold. Right now, he's performing at like the level of a bronze, which again, like that's indicative of his and one rate has basically been cut in half, and that just kind of reflects on he's not driving to the rim as much as he used to. So I've got him down at an 86 overall, -1 from the last time that we checked in on him, and he's essentially my number 19 point guard in the NBA. Barely top 20, not an all-star in the slightest. I don't know who's going to be interested in trading for him with the way that he's playing, but I don't know. I don't know what the solution is at that point. Maybe just bench him because he's like actively hurting the team. Let's go over to the Detroit Pistons. 8-2, 6-game winning streak. They took down the Sixers 111-108. First in the Eastern Conference, Cade Cunningham, not hurting his team. 26 points, 11 assists. Looks like he is poised to repeat on All-NBA. And Jalen Duren might be joining him on the All-Star team, I think. 21 points, 16 rebounds for him. If Detroit holds on to a top seed this by the All-Star break, I'm pretty sure that he's going to make it. Karis LeVert also, 14 points off the bench, 4 of 5 from 3 in this one. His best game as a Piston so far. He's been struggling a little bit with his shot, but again, I don't overreact to that. He's probably going to come along just fine. He is playing backup point guard for the Pistons, given like Ivy's out, and also Marcus Sasser. So I did switch his position to give them a little bit of a better lineup balance. Also worth noting, Ron Holland got the start in this one with Tobias out. Isaiah Stewart's also out, but he had a quiet night, struggled with the shot. 9 points on 3 of 15 from the field, but did play 33 minutes. Hopefully he's better in the next one. Going over to the Sixers, they dropped to 6-4 on the season. It was a back-to-back, so no Joel Embiid. Andre Drummond got the start against his former team, had 17 points, 12 rebounds, 35 minutes. I think Adem Bona was also out in this one. I didn't notice that in the box score, whether or not he played or not, so apologies if he did or did not. Can't really make that part of my analysis on the fly. But 17 points, 12 rebounds, 35 minutes for Drummond. Pretty solid. One of his better games of the last couple of years. Hopefully he's able to turn that into something moving forward. Tyrese Maxey, 33 points, 7 assists. Like, these performances are kind of like... That's his average, right? Like, he's averaging 33 points and 7 assists, I'm pretty sure. So, whatever. Trendon Watford, he triple-doubled in his last game. He got another start in this one, but was quiet. 7 points, 3 of 8 from the field, 25 minutes. Bit of a dud, even though he theoretically had a favorable matchup against Ron Holland. I think Holland's like... Actually, I don't... Yeah, he should have been able to... He's a lot bigger than Ron Holland. Should have been able to get something going. But Jalen Duren also might be improved on the defensive end as well, so... That might also have been a factor. Also, Trendon Watford, was playing out of his mind. Had a really good matchup in the last one against a centerless Toronto team, so that may also have been a bigger factor, more so than anything. VJ Edgecombe had 11 points in this one on 3 of 9 shooting. He's shooting 15 of 50 from the field, which is only 30% over his last 4 games. So I've alluded to this before, but he's cooled off in a major way from his first couple games. Team's kind of wised up. They got the scouting report now. So I did drop him 2 points overall. 75 layup is a -10. I did drop his 3-ball down. He's only shooting like 36% on mostly catch-and-shoot opportunities. And then offensive consistency, I dropped this down to a 60 from a 75. And then also, I did remove... I had an intangibles Band-Aid on him just to get him rated above Quentin Grimes. I don't feel it's necessary at the moment. Grimes, I'm content just having the force non-starter on him. I do believe that he is, like, on paper or talent-wise, like, he is a better player right now than VJ Edgecombe by ever so slightly. Obviously, Edgecombe, 5 years younger, has a significantly better future. But yeah, there are probably more teams out there that Grimes would start for rather than Edgecombe. Let's go over to the Golden State Warriors. They move up to 6-5 on the season, taking out the Indiana Pacers, 114 to 83. Taking out might be an understatement. They did this without Steph Curry, also, just a 30-point win without their best player. Another rest game for Curry, third game out with an illness. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but they may have just decided that they didn't need him at all to get this win. Might as well get some extra rest for their 37-year-old superstar. Jimmy Butler, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists to carry the load with Curry out. Jonathan Kuminga, only 5 points for him, 1 of 9 from the field. He's hit a wall. I would have boosted his rating, but given like his last couple performances, let's just hang in tight. His last 4 games, 9, 24, 6, and now 5 points. So he's really been erratic of late. Will Richard, not erratic for him. I have to get his rating up. That's on my big list. Honestly, forgot to do it before I pressed the record button. But he had 15 points in this one. He's now averaging 19 points in his last 3 games. But take it all with a major grain of salt. 2 of these games have been essentially against meme teams in the Pacers and the Kings in the game where he had the 30 piece. Those Pacers, they dropped 1-9 on the year. Siakam and Nesmith sat out this game for rest. So the Pacers are essentially punting this game, similar to the way that the Kings did in that other game. Jay Huff had double-doubled starting for Siakam. He had 12 points, 11 rebounds. Andrew Nembhard led the team in scoring with 14. He also had 9 assists, shot 5 of 16 from the field in his second game back. Ben Sheppard had 3 points starting for Nesmith, 1 of 10 from the field. So I guess they basically got the same performance they normally do, as Nesmith is either 2 for 15 or like 13 for 15. He's like one of the most like hot cold players in the NBA. Pacers only shot 34% in this one, had 20 turnovers. They desperately need Tyrese Halliburton, maybe the most dependent. They are so dependent on him for like anything. Obviously, they were without Siakam in this one also, but yeah, disgusting. Speaking of meme teams, let's go over to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Took down the aforementioned Sacramento Kings, 144 to 117. 8 Wolves were in double figures. No real noteworthy performances. Like Edwards had 26. Rudy Gobert turned back the clock against a joke team. 19 points, 12 rebounds, 9 of 10 from the field, 5 blocks. Let's go over to those Kings. They dropped to 3-7. Domantas Sabonis returned, had 20 points, 13 rebounds, only 3 assists. His passing has been a lot lower this year. 5 of 17 from the field. Did salvage his line a little bit by going 10 of 12 from the free throw line. Only averaging 15 points on the year on 52, 19, 68 slash line. So 52% from the field, 19% from 3, and then 68% from the line. Last year was 59% from the field, 42% from 3, albeit on low volume. And then the 75% from the free throw line actually was his career high. So that's something that will probably drop down. Sabonis probably playing like 85-ish overall rating. I think I've dropped him once already this year, so probably another update coming soon for him. Precious Achiuwa actually got the start in this one at the 4, and he doubled with 12 points and 10 rebounds, 5 of 7 from the field. So they actually played an actual big man at the 4 in this one, against obviously the Minnesota Timberwolves run Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, Jaden McDaniels. They have a pretty big front court, so they definitely wanted to match that rather than playing Westbrook at the 4. Zach LaVine and DeRozan combined for 48 points. LaVine 6 of 9 from 3. DeRozan 3 of 3 from 3. So they shot 9 of 12 from 3, and the Kings still lost by 27 points, which kind of tells you all you need to know about the Kings. Schroeder, Westbrook, and Monk all combined for 4 of 20 shooting to kind of cancel that out. Westbrook was quiet off the bench in this one with 6 points, 0 rebounds, 1 assist in 16 minutes. So he did not take well to his benching, I guess. But yeah, fascinating day in the NBA. As mentioned, it is my weekend, so I'm going to get to knock out a couple more player ratings than I typically do. So by all means, throw in the comments. Let me know who you think I need to focus on. Who is my highest priority ratings? Uh, and just let me know how you're enjoying these videos. Um, if you enjoy the roster content that I've been putting out daily, I'll see you guys tomorrow. It is 6 a.m., but I had a fun night of roster editing, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.